How can business owners, entrepreneurs, and CEOs over the age of 40 can immigrate to Canada by getting permanent residence? Today, we will be tackling that specific issue. Hello, my name is Rakhmad Sobirov, and welcome to Sobirovs Wednesday live show, where I answer your questions live and we tackle one topic at a time to give you the information to make the best decision of your life when it comes to immigration. As we do traditionally, I have a presentation, and after the presentation, we will answer your questions. So welcome to the show. Let's get started. As you know, February 18, there was a big announcement by Immigration Ministry about the several categories under express entry. That is the most popular and often used immigration pathway to come to Canada. We will now have categories. Today we will discuss those categories, but focusing on those that are affected the most, that were affected the most by previous changes, senior managers in a business environment or business setting. As you know, senior managers are usually over the age of 40, and they have been penalized for being old. They couldn't compete in the general draw. Now we have a specific alley, specific pathway for several categories, including senior managers who are running the businesses, creating jobs and creating value in Canada. Historically, as you can remember, there was an opportunity to get a job offer, LMIA-based job offer from the company that could add 200 points. That could neutralize the disadvantage of the age. However, those points were removed. Now we were waiting, and we have now received an announcement that senior managers who were technically and practically disadvantaged because of their age, now they have a specific alley, specific highway to become permanent residents in Canada. So overall, I have a very short presentation, and I will tackle all your questions afterwards. So Express Entry 2026 is the most, perhaps the fastest way to become permanent residents, as the name suggests. However, it was very disadvantaged. It was creating hassle and disadvantage for the most experienced people. And we as Canadians want to have the most experienced, the best people in Canada, right? So there wasn't any logic or any consistency. On the one hand, we want experienced people, but on the other hand, we don't allow them to become permanent residents and keep them temporary in Canada. So today we will be navigating through 10 category-based selection streams focusing on senior management pathways, okay? Now, what happened on February 18? There was an announcement. It was a very hybrid announcement, and we need to separate them carefully. There were 5 new categories introduced, and 5 new categories that existed before. They have been improved. They have been modified a little bit. And certain things were removed from the previous generation of the categories. So new categories that we have under Express Entry now are the following: senior managers, physicians, researchers, transport sector specialists, and military. So we will not dive into each category, but I will cover them very quickly. The 5 existing categories were healthcare, STEM, science, technology, and math. So trades, they were improved a little bit. We will see how. Education category, and of course the most famous and well-maintained French proficiency category. There was a contradiction a little bit to my mind that we removed cooks that are in high demand in several areas of Canada. They were removed from the old categories, and agriculture and agri-food was also removed. It's a contradiction. I don't know why. I don't see any justification of removing them, and hopefully in the coming days we will have some more clarity. Please make sure that you understand we just had this announcement and already had 2 draws. One related to physicians in Canada, and the other was related to healthcare professionals. We will cover that in a moment. Now, on a very high level, this is what's under express entry at the moment. What the new categories? The new wave, the priorities are, they include 3 categories that need to have Canadian experience. Senior managers, researchers, and physicians, they need to have in Canada experience. Transport occupations and military recruits. Transport occupations specifically can have in Canada or outside of Canada experience, can be counted. Skilled military recruits is a very specific, it's an basically job offer driven category, which is basically you need to have a job offer from the Canadian Armed Forces, and then you can pass through permanent residence. But that I don't think we will have a lot of candidates under that category because it has lots of requirements. The renewed categories were healthcare and social services that we had 1 draw already, covering 4,000 people. It's amazing how many people are qualified in the pool. STEM occupations, trade occupations. Here we have, the butchers were removed and they were added into the trades. There are certain trades under the trades category. There are certain professions which I don't think should be in the trades, but anyways, education, occupation, French language proficiency, these are modified but existing categories. Now, what does this create as an opportunity for senior leaders who are older than 40 years old and they are in a disadvantaged position? Now, remember, general draw hasn't happened for over a year now. It's very tough under express entry to be successful under general draw because you compete with everyone. Right? You compete with qualified, young, different professions. They try to, it's like Olympics it's an Olympics, but you compete with all the athletes at the same time. It's like that. So, and now the new category is creating a different pathway where you compete only with senior managers, which means traditionally the high score, the CRS score, will come down. So that's a strategic advantage, and it will neutralize the effect of your age to your overall CRS score. So it's a targeted selection. And the bad side of it, I discussed the good side. The bad side, we don't know when this category will be drawn. That's why you, as soon as possible, if you are qualified enough, if you have at least 12 months of in Canada senior management experience, you need to enter the express entry pool as soon as possible because things may change. The government doesn't tell you when they will draw, but it's better to be in the pool ready to be drawn. So leadership value, age points are liquidated. Leadership value is cherished and encouraged. Age points, they not naturally will go down. Now, who are senior managers? This is very key. This is not just a manager. As the word suggests, and you can interpret it, it's a senior manager. It's a manager on top of managers, okay? It's not just the sole manager, one soldier fight. It's not like that. It's a senior manager, which implies that you are on top of other managers, right? Tier 0, executive level, must operate at the highest band of the National Occupation Classification, the NOC. Strategic function should be covered. You must be managing other managers. You cannot be the sole manager of the whole organization. That doesn't work, and it will be a weak application. You need to be managing other managers or set organizational strategy. Supervising staff is insufficient. So you cannot say, I'm supervising these staff. You need to look at the NOC code. Does your function and duties are covered under that NOC, and that there's a match between your functions and the NOC code. Location of experience must be in Canada. That's very important. And duration must be at the minimum of 12 months of experience within the last 3 years. And the caveat in here is that the 12 months must have been accumulated before you are drawn from the express entry pool, before you receive ITA, okay? You cannot say, okay, I received the ITA, but now I will comply in 1 month. It will be 12 months in total. No, before the ITA, you need to have that 12 month. In fact, in practice, that would mean that you will have 12 months and plus something before you receive your ITA. Compliance note: job titles are not enough. Yes, you can call yourself the president of the universe, but it's not enough. So duties must match NOC description perfectly. So that's very technical, and you need to be really careful with that. Targeted occupations, who were included? Which NOC codes were included here? NOC code 0012, this is covering financials, communication, and business services. And 113, NOC 00013, health, education, social and community services, the senior managers in that area. But the most popular one, especially among our clients, is this category, 14, which is trade, broadcasting, and other services. So we have a lot of senior managers currently under ICT, intra-company transfer work permit, and they have C11, C10 work permits. They can usually fit into that, and you can see in your work permit, if you have one, the category is mentioned there. So the sector, everything is mentioned there. Look and read your work permit carefully. And finally, construction, transportation, production, and utilities. These roles are defined by executive decision making, resource allocation, and policy direction. So let me share my screen, and I will give you some examples of titles that usually associated with that. Let me share my screen here. Okay, as you can see, you can go to NOC. It's very easy. We will leave all the relevant links in the comment section and also in the description. So, for example, this is the most popular among our clients. So the lead statement should be matching your duties, and these are type of like examples of titles that will be covered under this. As you can see, so main duties are here, right? You need to read the duties and so on and so forth. The four categories that we mentioned are all here, and we will leave the links for your convenience. It's very technical. It's not easy to navigate the NOC, but here we are, and it's it's pretty wide. It can cover a lot of titles, right? It can cover a lot of titles, and most probably, if you are a senior manager now, you need to talk to a lawyer or you need to talk to us. Identify, are you the best fit now to benefit from this new category? Now, the strategic advantage, what does it give you? We are talking too much, we are happy about it. What does it give you in practice? So if you are on the intra-company transfer and we need to find more clarity, are you paid by your foreign company outside of Canada or in Canada? Most probably in Canada, payment of your salary is better. And C11, C10 work permits, active business owners can benefit now with eligibility to become permanent residents themselves and their family. So that's a great advantage. So most probably, if you are currently in Canada in a C-suite or VP role or senior manager role, one of the titles that you saw on the screen, you are probably accruing the necessary eligibility right now. If you haven't covered 12 months within the last 3 months, focus on that, and that will make you eligible for this new category of senior managers. Other categories that we have to briefly mention, these requires Canadian experience. Physicians, they were selected. By the way, I want to show you again on the screen. I want to show you what happened recently. Here we go. February 18, the announcement comes up, and I was present when Immigration Minister was announcing these changes. There was a luncheon with the minister. She was very happy to announce these new categories. So we had physicians. First draw on February 19. 391 were invited, and look at the score. I hope I will see similar scores with respect to senior managers. I hope, because many of my clients are waiting to transition to PR. But then, of course, healthcare and social services is more competitive. It's more crowded sector, and the 4,000 were invited, and their score is substantial, 467. These are young, educated healthcare and social services professionals who will be now moving forward to Canadian permanent residence. Congratulations to them. So, physicians, there's a very rare category, very needed for Canada, that we want to keep our physicians, especially those who have Canadian experience, and this is great, and I'm happy that Canada finally woke up to that challenge of bringing the best and the brightest to Canada. And the other category, researchers, these are the NOC codes, as you can see, focusing on university professors and post-secondary research, requires 12-month experience in Canada. These are in Canada experiences. Don't confuse it with other categories that we will discuss. Transport occupation, this is also very needed. Pilots, aircraft mechanics, truck and bus mechanics can be both Canadian experience or foreign experience, but there are other requirements because these are heavily regulated professions, right? I just want to show you another document that we created for our audience. And if you go and subscribe on Sobirovs.com website for our newsletter, you will receive this document. So we went and compiled all the professions that are covered by all new categories. As you can see, this is healthcare and social occupations, and they are hyperlinked to NOC codes. And if the regulation is there, if the profession is regulated, let's say veterinarians is a regulated profession, and who regulates them is covered here. What is the minimum education requirement is also covered for your convenience, so that you can go and identify, do I fit here, do I fit there, and help yourself in terms of research. Then we also have all the way, and if the profession is not regulated, we say it's not regulated, and so on. It's a good research, saves you tons of time. All you have to do is to go and subscribe to our newsletter, and we will send only to our subscribers. This is we worked on this document very heavily, and it's a great resource, lots of value in it, and you can get it free of charge. No problem, and no questions asked. So the transportation is as I said, about aviation, automotive sector, and so on. So, and then, excuse me, and then skilled military recruits. This is the very unique new category. We don't know how it will work, but according to the requirements, you need to have, you need to be recruited by Canadian Armed Forces. If you have that, if you fit into that category, it's great. The renewed pillars, the only big change that I can highlight today is that the 6-month experience now increased to 12 months. So healthcare, STEM, trades and education and French was continuing. It's not a new category, but it's improved now with 12-month experience required. Critical adjustments, what you need to take out of this new adjustments. Experience requirement has increased, as I said, from 6 months to 12 months, covering the last 3 years. I'm sorry. Covering only the last 3 years, and within those 3 years, you need to have 12 months of experience. Some sectors were removed. Agriculture, agri-food is no longer a priority, and butchers are now moved into the trades. Cooks are removed from the categories entirely. Now, your roadmap, what do you need to do? Now that you know there's an opportunity for you, first, validate your NOC code. Do you fit into that NOC code? Are you doing the duties under that NOC code? Then make sure, if of course this is the roadmap for senior managers, then make sure that you have a valid test result. If it's about to expire, get the test results. Then if you haven't done so, do your education credential assessment if you have a non-Canadian degree. So it's easy, it's fast, and of course you need to get into the express entry pool to be benefiting from this new category. If you're not in the pool, nobody knows you are in the pool. You may be the best professional in the world. Canada will not be inviting you. You gotta be in the pool to be selected. By the way, we have a lot of participants from different parts of the world. You can type your questions, and I will answer those questions very, very soon. I'm almost done with my presentation. So if you have questions, just start typing and I will bring them forward to the screen and answer them. So if you need legal guidance from an experienced team, we've been doing it for over 13 years now in Canada. We specialize in Canadian business and investor immigration. We can assess your eligibility under the new codes, new categories. We can prepare your application as an executive to move forward with permanent residence. And we can develop a strategy for business owners who want to transition to permanent residence. We've been doing it for, as I said, for many years now. In 2024, we don't have the stats for 2025 yet, but in 2024, we exclusively helped over 160 applications of businessmen, investors, and entrepreneurs who wanted to move to Canada, to relocate to Canada. We are very boutique and niche focused team, and we do it very well. So if you want to talk to us, go and book your 1-hour strategy meeting at sobirovs.com, and we will be happy to discuss your options and identify the best possible pathway forward. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions, let's tackle those questions right away. All right, now it's time for your questions. While I wait for your questions, let me show you. As I said, you can get access to this document by subscribing to our newsletter. To do that, you need to go to sobirovs.com, scroll all the way down here, all the way down, all the way down. Under the videos, you can subscribe to our newsletter, and you will get this document that I shared with you. Also, we have published new articles, 2 new pieces right after this announcement. On February 18, we published new express entry category for senior managers with Canadian work experience. Key takeaways, key insight by our senior business immigration lawyer, Firuza Jamalova. Now, these are insight. These are the NOC codes. Everything is for senior managers for your convenience. Go and read it for yourself. There are steps, there are FAQs, and we answered all the questions. If you still have the questions and you want to talk seriously about your case, just click on this banner and book a consultation with us. We will be happy to discuss your options with you. Then also we covered general express entry. This was about senior managers. This is more about general express entry categories. Our key takeaways, our insights we shared here. And this is very handy, easy to navigate. Unlike IRCC website, you can get all the information here in one article. So if you have any questions, or if we don't have questions, that's okay. Here we go. Yeah, I usually bring the questions like this, and hello. If you have questions, I will be happy to take them. Thank you for your greeting. I acknowledge that everybody is connecting from different parts of the world. Give us your question and we will tackle them as we go. So while I wait, let me also feature something else. Here we go. Many people ask about success stories. Success stories are found here under Insights at Sobirovs.com on the success stories. You can read all the success stories. Of course, we cannot publish all of them. We only publish select ones, and those, not all success stories we are able to publish each and every one. But this is the insight you can get into under Insights and Success Stories. Also, we have country guides. We regularly update those country guides. If you are from any of these countries, we have developed specific guides for you. Finally, we have under PNP categories, if you go to Alberta PNP, for example, and you scroll and you read for yourself, we have a free calculator of assessing your chances. These are free tools that you can use. You can begin your assessment for Alberta Rural Entrepreneurs Stream. The same for British Columbia. If you go under business immigration, you can go to British Columbia, and there's also a calculator for BC PNP program. Read the guide. It's free. It's lots of insight. And you can do your assessment here with our calculators. Lots of FAQs that we cover. We have developed a lot of tools for your convenience, because our philosophy is that when you decide to move forward with your immigration, you need to decide that, you need to make that decision with well-fed information. You cannot decide easily. It's a serious step. It's perhaps one of the most serious decisions in your life to immigrate to Canada and what part of Canada you want to immigrate. So you need to make an informed decision. The whole purpose of creating such a rich content with weekly live sessions, with a lot of guidelines, a lot of calculators and tools to help you assess your chances free of charge. Unless you want to talk to us, 1 hour we dedicate our time. Only lawyers will talk to you, not some other staff members. Only lawyers will discuss your options, and with their experience, trust me, you will get a lot of insights during the consultation. So